think we should go on to Jarlin Susana, who is just nails. That dude, that slider is bonkers. I almost put an 80 on it when I wrote his report. It's a 70, but I think it might be an 80. His slider gets to 94. Like this is what we're talking about. We're talking about an elite outlier pitch. It is something we don't see very often. We see 90-mile-per-hour sliders more and more. We don't see mid 90 sliders.
I, matter of fact, the only mid 90s slider I can think of is DeGrom, right? Like
Yeah,
that's one of the
Degrom.
only ones I can think of. Yeah, just
And
sick.
it's also Susana backs it up with like 102, 103-mile-per-hour fastball. Like I saw him when he was a Padres prospect down on the backfields, and this dude was. I didn't think that he was like. I didn't think that he was like the same sort of like athlete as everybody else. He was huge. He was 6'6", 220. Then now he's 235. I think that's a little like conservative for him. But this dude is just he is built for tough. At one point, I thought that he was kind of like maybe going to be a reliever because I think that the command sort of comes and goes. But the command took a step forward this year. The changeup still also needs to come along a little bit, but he threw the second hardest pitch in all of like the minor league baseball, only behind Ricardo Yeen, who is a Dodgers prospect, who I actually saw him throw 104. So it is one of the craziest like two pitch mix in the entire league. Like this is like if it doesn't work out as a starter, he's going to be like a Francisco Rodriguez sort of closer. Like this
Yes,
that is what I think Husana's floor could be.
I agree. I mean, really consider that. I mean, I'm not talking about in terms of pitch shape, but just the 1-2 punch of an over 100-mile-per-hour fastball, a 94-mile-per-hour slider. I mean, it's Jacob DeGrom in 2 pitches. Imagine having to face prime Jacob DeGrom in the ninth inning of a game. Just, I quit. I can't do it. You're better than me. I lose. What do you want me to say here? Reese, one more quick question about Susana before we move on. I'll ask you, what is the major roadblock facing him? Obviously, he, like Sikora, he was a little bit kid gloved, if we're going to be brutal about it. He was a little bit kid gloved. But what's the major hurdle keeping Susana from being a top 20 prospect?
The changeup. The changeup ultimately lags behind. He needs to find a third pitch.
I'm curious if it'll be tweaking the changeup or if there's another sort of pitch, maybe. Uh, I've seen, fastball, slider, cutter is kind of an interesting pitch mix nowadays, but I would love to see a changeup. I know we talk a lot about velocity bands too. Something in maybe that high 80s would just be gross for Susana. I think it
It'd
could be
be
really
death on
impressive.
hitters. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.